Part 1. The motivation myth. We have been lied to. We've been told that to achieve something great, we need to feel inspired. We wait for a spark, a sign, or a surge of energy to start our work. But motivation is a fickle god. It is a chemical byproduct of dopamine that evaporates the moment things get difficult. If you only work when you feel like it, you are not a professional. You are a slave to your moods. Discipline is not about feeling good. It is about the ability to execute when you feel absolutely nothing. It is the cold, calculated decision to honor a commitment long after the emotion in which that commitment was made has left the room. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they are waiting for a feeling that is never coming. The 1% understand that motivation is for amateurs. The elite show up because it is the law they have written for themselves. Part 2. The biology of the effort path to build the architecture of discipline. We must look at the brain's anterior mid-cingulate cortex aMCC. Recent neuroscience suggests that this specific area of the brain grows when we do things we don't want to do. It is essentially the willpower muscle. When you choose the hard path, the cold shower, the extra hour of deep work, the gym session when you're exhausted, you are physically thickening the gray matter in your aMCC. This isn't just mindset, it is structural engineering. People with high levels of discipline aren't born with more willpower. They have simply exercised their aMCC so frequently that the friction of starting has vanished. For them, discipline is no longer a struggle. It is a default setting. Every time you negotiate with yourself and lose, your aMCC atrophies. Every time you win, you become a more formidable version of yourself. Part 3. The dopamine threshold. We live in an age of cheap dopamine. Everything around us, scrolling, sugar, pornography, video games, is designed to give us a massive reward for zero effort. This destroys your dopamine baseline. When your brain gets used to high rewards for no work, the slow dopamine of a long-term project feels like torture. Discipline is the process of resetting your dopamine threshold. It is a voluntary fast from the cheap and the easy. When you embrace the boring work, you are recalibrating your brain to find satisfaction in the process, not just the result. This is the secret of the high achiever. They don't enjoy the success more than you do. They enjoy the struggle more than you do. They have learned to associate the burn of discipline with the sensation of progress. Part 4. Identity-based habits. Most people try to change their results. They want the $1 million, the six-pack, the high-status life. But as James Clear noted in Atomic Habits, true discipline is not about what you want, it is about who you are. If you tell yourself, "I am trying to be disciplined," you have already lost. You are still an undisciplined person attempting a trick. You must move toward an identity-based habit. You don't go to the gym. You are an athlete. You don't try to focus. You are a focused person. When your actions are an expression of your identity, discipline stops being an act of will and starts being an act of integrity. To go against your discipline would be to lie to yourself. And for the 1%, that is the ultimate sin. Part 5. The 10-year horizon. We are a generation addicted to the now. We want the transformation in 30 days. But discipline is a game of decades. Look at any master, whether it's Leonardo da Vinci or a modern-day titan of industry. Their greatness wasn't a single event. It was the compounding interest of 10,000 boring days. In finance, compounding is the 8th wonder of the world and life. Discipline is the 8th wonder of the soul. The first year of discipline looks like nothing. The 5th year looks like progress. The 10th year looks like a miracle. Most people quit in the valley of disappointment, the gap between the effort they put in and the results they see. But the architecture of discipline is built in that valley. If you can survive the silence of the first 1,000 days, you become untouchable. Part 6. The Stoic wall. The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Discipline requires you to expect the struggle. If you expect the path to be easy, the first obstacle will break you. But if you walk into the day expecting resistance, fatigue, and temptation, you have already won the battle. You must build a Stoic wall around your focus. This means saying no to 99% of opportunities so you can say yes to the 1% that matters. Discipline is as much about what you don't do as it is about what you do. It is the art of subtraction. You subtract the distractions, the toxic people, and the low-value habits until only the essential remains. Part 7. The architecture of the environment. Stop relying on willpower. Willpower is a finite resource that depletes as the day goes on. The most disciplined people on earth don't have more willpower. They have better environments. If you want to be focused, your phone shouldn't be in the room. If you want to eat clean, the junk food shouldn't be in your house. You must engineer your surroundings so that the right choice is the easiest choice. Discipline is the architect who designs the room. Willpower is the soldier who defends it. If the architect is good, the soldier rarely has to fight. Part 8. The sacrifice of the average self to become the version of yourself that is capable of greatness. You must murder your average self. The person who wants to sleep in, the person who fears judgment, the person who seeks comfort, that version of you must die. This is the price of admission. You cannot take your old habits into your new life. Discipline is the fire that burns away the dross, leaving only the tempered steel. It is a daily sacrifice. You are sacrificing the present you for the future you, and the future you is worth the pain. Part 9. Conclusion. The Manifesto. As we reach this 10th chapter, the path is clear. We have discussed the dopamine traps, the invisible scripts, and the intelligence prisons. But all the knowledge in the world is worthless without the iron of discipline to hold it together. This is not a self-help journey. This is a war of attrition against your own mediocrity. You have the tools. You have the map now. You need the law. Make discipline your religion. Make the boring your sanctuary. From this day forward, you are no longer a victim of your moods. You are the architect of your destiny. The architecture is built. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. See you soon in new videos.